Hello, how are you doing, guys? This is Lewis and this is my YouTube channel, so you are welcome. In today's lesson we want to talk about working environment, and we need to talk about working bosses and job supervisors. Today's topic is about people do not run the office but run the supervisors. So we need to see why this statement is truth. So we need to extract the truth of this statement that people do not run the office but the working supervisor. So what it works. In my research in recent years, it has normal workers or people to shift from one working to another working, or you can say people is normal to shift from one job to another job. Sometimes even others tend to quit job to searching for others, even if that job are well paid. That you may find someone quitting the job with a reasonable and good salary and quit it to search and get another job, which when you need to compare the salary and working environment, it is quite different to that one which he or she used it to quit. So people is nowadays quitting job. So in my research, I find out what the reason behind people quitting job with a good salary and go to another job with a little bit lower salary. So, and my findings say that people do not leave the office because of office itself, but the working supervisor. Now, the working supervisors become a problem to so many workers who is quitting jobs and searching for other jobs that they're in favor. It is very arrogant and stressful to work with an arrogant person as your supervisor. Picture the situation that you are working with a supervisor, or that is your boss in a company, and he is not appreciating you in everything you did. He is not appreciating. Rather, he used it to complain in everything you've done as a part of your daily duties. That means everything you try to do, he's seen in negative side. He's seen it in a negative sense, point of view. Then he complains to you that you are useless, unfitting, and even he is able to call you an idiot sometimes. To that situation, I'm quite sure that even if there's a lot of benefit, a lot of we can say it office offers a lot of salary, sometimes a lot of good quality working environment. You work in a very good office with a good breakfast with a good lunch. But if the supervisor is not in your favor, he is not a good person, then you tend to quit that job. So I'm so sure and quite sure that if you're working with such kind of boss, in a few days or if in few months you are about to plan, or you're about to search for another job, to quit that office and looking for another job, because that boss, it is usually causes stress. He is usually making your morality lower, and you just go to the office because of money yourself. You lack motivation because your boss is very arrogant and not in favor to you. So now, how can we dare working with a persistent supervisor? How can we dare working with that arrogant supervisor? Because it is not every time that in your working area you may find a very good and kind boss. It is sometimes you may find the very arrogant boss and now become your boss, so you can become your working supervisor. So how do we how do we able to working with that boss? How do we able to working cooperatively with that arrogant supervisor? Here are some tips that you need to go through in order you to survive in such a company, in such a work. In order you to secure your job, you need to go through these 4 to 5 techniques. Number 1, you need to be competent enough. As a worker or online job, you need to be competent in your field. If you are an engineer, for example, a computer engineer, then supervisors is there to supervise you doing your work. So if you are very competent in your field, then in his complaint, you prove him wrong. He complains about that, then you do your work neat. You do your work in competence. Then you'll be able to excel in your field in that area. So number 2, obey to organization rules and regulations. You need to obey obeying to organization or company rules. Don't miss any rules, because it is a type to you. He tend to untie you in that, because he is arrogance boss. Then if you miss up in anything, he is using it as a weakness to untie you, to tie you up. So you have to obey the rules and regulations of any organization, if the organization that you're working in. Number 3, do not protest direct against his willing. Your boss willing this. Your boss believing in this. Then if you don't want to do that, there's a way to protest, but do not protest him directly, because you are going to have you are going to have disagreement. You are going to have a misunderstanding with him. That is too bad, because it is your boss. He is your boss. So if you have any other misunderstanding to him in your day off, then one day he will not going to suggest you in another job. Sometimes he's going to you'll be end in deep in the hole. So do not protest him direct. Even if you don't want to do what he says, there is another way to work out with your plan. Now I already make a video on how to protest indirect your boss. You protest him, but indirect. Don't go direct to him and show up and tie up your muscles, and you will end up in a bad situation, which we do not want to see you ending there. Number 4, do not care his complaint. And this is a very important point. You do not have to care about his complaint. You just reason and let it out. Let it in this ear and let it out in this eye. Because we say complain, it reduces your working morality. It reduces your motivation. Because even if you want to do a good work, you want to do your the good work, something come into you and say, even if you do what and that and what and what, your boss is going to, it is not your boss, is not going to appreciate it. So it lower down your stamina, it lower down your morality. So that, guys, if you are going through that point, that is the 4 points, then you'll be able to survive in the situation where you have a very arrogant boss. Now, in our transition, as we are working now, later we believe that we are going to be a supervisor to others. So now I need you to listen. I need you to stay in this channel. I need you to stay in this video to learn on how to be a good supervisor. So here are the tips to be a good supervisor. In order to be supervisor, number one, you need to be determined. Determine yourself. Who are you? What are you there to do? Determine yourself. You are a supervisor to others. Then read the way. Because as a supervisor, then you are a leader to the working liner. You need to lead them on the organization goals. You need to lead them on the organization vision, so as to accomplish that duty on time, accomplish that duty neatly, and something of such kind. Number two, position yourself to be made eater. As we know, there is a top management, then the workers need to be linked to the top management. Then as a supervisor, you need to link those liners, workers to the top management. You need to take their challenges and make it follow up to be solved in the top management. Then it is your duty as a supervisor to connect the dot, to connect them. Also, you need to take responsibility from the from the top management, for example, from the CEO maybe, and define it to the work liner on how to accomplish them and on how to let it be done. Also, number three, avoid complaining behavior. As I told you earlier, that a complaining behavior may make a liner worker to be upset and to be in a bad situation and lowering the work morality. Then now, as you are becoming a supervisor, you need to avoid complaining behavior. When the things going not in your direction, that things goes wrong, you not find who make it become, then you need to find a solution. So if you are becoming a solution solver, you are becoming a good supervisor. Third and last in my list is you need to be dynamic. Don't be static, because the situation, the world is dynamic. Then you need to be dynamic too, because there's a lot of challenge in leading others. So don't let any single person to know you, any single person to predict you. Then you now become you are becoming unpredictable. You'll be a good boss if you follow and adhere those points. So guys, thank you for following me. Thank you for listening. And I hope you learned something here. If you have any addition, you have anything to say, I'll glad to see you in the comment section, and I'll go through them and answer you neatly. And so yeah, you're welcome, and thank you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.